This is the story of Madilynn.
My name is Madilynn Grafen. I am from Dwight, Illinois, which is 2 hours south from Chicago. I have 4 siblings, 3 of which are older than me and 1 that is younger. My parents, my younger brother and I live on a little 2-acre farm surrounded by cornfields. On the farm, we raise pigs, chickens, ducks, cows, goats, and horses. I went to Herscher High School and also graduated from there. Throughout high school, I was in many clubs and extracurricular activities like show choir, creative writing club, school newspaper and yearbook, and NHS. However, rodeo probably took up most of my time. Ever since I was little, I have always had a strong passion for horses. So when we moved to Dwight, the first thing I asked my parents was if we could get a horse. That is how I started buying and training horses and teaching myself how to ride. It wasn't until 8th grade year that I was able to have the chance to join rodeo. Starting out, I was horrible at rodeo because rodeo is a rich man's game, basically. People will show up at rodeos with horses worth $30,000. The most we ever paid for a horse is probably about $1,000. Normally they weren't trained either.
So starting out, it was hard to win at anything, but as I learned more and more, and then was able to improve, by the end of my high school career.
My parents really thought that I would go to college for business so I could have a barn full of horses and train people how to ride. And at first, that's what I thought too. But throughout high school, I started to explore myself and found a whole new side to me. I found out that I love art and I'm very artistic. At first, I thought that I wanted to be a writer because I love to write and make stories on my free time. But then, during junior year, I came to realize that I wanted to be a film producer. As a child, my parents were strict on what I was able to watch, so I really didn't have the chance to watch a lot of movies. As I grew up, slowly those restrictions were lightened up, and by freshman year, I was able to watch basically every kind of movie. It was then that I started to love watching movies of any kind. But I didn't just like to watch them. I liked to pick them apart and grade every little thing about them, whether that be their soundtrack or how the images or the style, just anything about them. That's how I came to realize I wanted to be a film producer. While looking at colleges, I started to doubt myself and was worried if I would ever make it into a college for film. I had very little experience with technology or film and really didn't have the opportunity to learn a lot about film since my school really didn't have film classes. But then I found out about Columbia and I fell in love with the school right away. I knew this was the school for me. I knew that I could be successful and that they also promised me that I didn't need to know anything right away. So that's how I am here today, living in Chicago, going to Columbia to become a film producer.
We're happy that you felt comfortable to come to us to tell your story. But it's all going to be all right now. You're safe now. Okay?
Okay.
This was the story of Madilynn.